My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I know everybody hates this movie. It received really, really bad reviews. So, okay. I believe it was 2010 or maybe 2011. I watched it for the first time and I had really low expectations because of its reception. But I was surprised at how much I liked it. Like, this is a movie I've actually always defended. But that was a long time ago. So I just rewatched it for the first time last night, and likes, I was wrong. This movie is even worse than people say, and it's a truly abysmal movie. So let's begin by talking about the cast, and I like Brendan Fraser. He has charisma, he's charming, he's likable, but here, it just kind of feels like he's phoning it in. It feels like he's sleepwalking throughout this entire movie. And then we've got Maria Bello replacing Rachel Weisz. And what a baffling decision. Like, Evie in this movie doesn't feel like Evie from the other movies at all. It feels like a completely different character, and I thought Maria's performance was dreadful. And these two just didn't have any chemistry whatsoever, and we then got Luke Ford playing Alex O'Connell, and once again, he just doesn't feel like Alex from The Mummy Returns. I know a lot of time has passed, but I just didn't buy it, and I thought his performance was incredibly dry. And then we've got Isabella Leong, and she is awful. Every line delivery just falls completely flat, and she is never convincing. And the romance between these two characters is an embarrassment. Like, zero chemistry, just truly awful. We then got John Hannah, who brings enough personality to his character. I just wish he had more to do here. We've got Jet Li as the villain, and this is just a phoned-in, bland performance. Russell Wong is just a forgettable side villain. Liam Cunningham, I like him as an actor, but here he is so forgettable and generic. And Michelle Yeoh has given good performances in the past, but not here. She's really bad here. So, even though I really like some of these actors, the cast is awful across the board and nobody delivers. And I will say that there is some potential with this movie with the Chinese mythology instead of Egyptian, and you've got this undead army, and you've got this section where they're in the mountains with leadys. Like, this could have been a fun movie. It's just that the execution is piss poor every single moment. Like, this movie has this one moment where this guy's face melts off early on, but aside from that, I just never found this movie to have the same creep factor as the first two. It also doesn't really feel all that adventurous. The movie is bland. It is an hour and 50 minutes, and it feels like 2.5 hours. The pacing is just truly insufferable. The plot is overly convoluted. Like, there's these villains that we kind of get introduced to, and there's this guy that Alex is working with, and Rick and Evie end up in Shanghai coincidentally, and it feels like an absolute disaster. And it also kind of just feels like they really liked Temple of Doom and they're trying to recapture that magic, but they just failed in every regard. The script is just dog shit, and the characters don't feel the same. This doesn't feel like a proper continuation of the trilogy. And it's not directed by Steven Sommers, and you can definitely tell. Instead, it's directed by Rob Cohen, who does a terrible job here. And I have to talk about the CGI. Now, the CGI in the first movie isn't great, but it's serviceable. The CGI in the second movie is really bad, but it came out in 2011. This movie came out in 2008, and just for a reference, that's after the Spider-Man trilogy. That's after the first 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That is after the Lord of the Rings movies. That is after Transformers. That is after Prisoner of Azkaban. That is after Minority Report. It's after so many great looking movies. In 2008, there is no excuse for the CGI to be this fucking bad. It looks every bit as awful as the CGI in The Mummy Returns, and I can give that movie a bit of a pass because it was so early, and that movie was maybe overly ambitious, but here, just no forgiveness, no justification. And to make matters worse, this movie cost $145 million. And if you look at inflation rates, that equals to $217 million nowadays. No excuse. Just laziness across the board. And the movie isn't fun, it's not campy, it's not funny, the humor just falls flat, it's terribly edited, and I'm okay with Evie dying in the second movie and coming back to life. It fits the franchise, and I'm okay with it. But for them to do the same thing with Rick here just feels so void of any creativity. It just feels so pathetic, and it feels so lazy. So even though there's interesting ideas here, this movie just is a complete disaster in every regard. The script, atrocious. The acting, embarrassing. The plot, an overly convoluted mess. Just nothing about this movie works, and the biggest crime is that it's fucking boring. So I'm giving The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor a 0.5 out of 10. So yeah, I was wrong about this movie before, but if you want a fun fantasy action movie, I'd recommend the 2016 Gods of Egypt. That movie is so underrated, and it's so campy and schlocky and stupid, but I love it. So watch that movie instead. But The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, what did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.